You ain't got no credit.
All right, what's going on, investor family? I'm Stock Market Jay, and I'm here to say today, bringing you some news you can really use. And this time, guys, of course, as we continue on the Boring Investor series, I actually got a special guest. Typically, you see me by myself. It's typically me on here ranting and running my mouth about some of the things that are stuck in this head that I'm trying to get out and I'm trying to educate everyone on. But today, I got my brother Chris Wealth Wave Maker, man, and he is a
Yeah,
maker
man.
of wealth. And this guy is educated, this guy knows his stuff, and this guy is gonna help us today and educate some of the people that tune in into the realm of what he does. And Chris, for the people that don't know you, brother, introduce yourself. Let us know what you do and how you came about doing what you do, bro.
Okay. For those of y'all that don't know, man, I'm C3 the Wave Maker, man. CEO of Wealth Wave Global. Definitely we got a whole global network. Started all this from the basement, man. You know what I'm saying? We just launched a record label. We are in the process of building an exchange with the marketplace for NFTs so artists can directly download and stream their music and get paid royalties right there on the platform. So distribution, cutting that out, cutting the middleman out as far as record labels go, and you basically have full control over your rights and your creative music, and also the ability to sell directly to fans or have us manage it for you. We got a couple online schools teaching people about investments and cryptocurrencies, stocks, bonds, tax liens. We do trust and estate planning. Basically, really, what I got going on now is the Wave Maker Initiative, man, which is literally finding people just like me and you that we didn't have no rich family, we didn't have no important backers, we didn't have no Ivy League school, we just had a little bit of hustle and some hard work and willpower, determination. uh and we did something amazing, but the light don't really get shined on that a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really hear too many of the came from nothing stories of minorities, especially people that come from places like we come from. We ain't never supposed to make it to this type of level. You know what I mean? We're not supposed to be on podcasts educating people on investments and compound interest and how to protect their assets through trust and estate planning. Like,
Right.
they don't like that.
Right. And it's the information that saves you, brother. It's the information that saves you and helps you make it out. And that's what people got to understand. A lot of the people of today, they're spending a lot of their time, they're looking for the information that's going to change their situation tomorrow instead of being practical about what they're looking to do in order to ensure that the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years go according to plan, right? And you got pretty much the whole square of financial security in there, whether it's taxes, bonds, stocks, crypto, liens, taxes, things like that. And that's kind of what I want to, get into and break down. So how did you get into that whole sphere? Because I'm pretty sure it took a while to get everything come
Yeah,
full
man.
circle.
It took a while just to really kind of get my mindset like geared in that direction because nobody had ever mentioned it or taught me about it or showed me. So, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you're trying something new, that can be scary, you know what I mean? And then, but I actually got my whole start in, stocks and I guess what you call traditional investing with a $5 Acorns account, man.
Hmm.
Really, I had, I got in some trouble in my younger years, and when I got out, I made a decision that I didn't want to be like that. That wasn't that wasn't who I was. Right, I was going to be better. My kids deserve better, and I just made my mind up to start focusing on better things. Right, I still had that hustle, the same hustle, and that's what a lot of people got to realize. If you apply that same hustle that you have to all this street economics, man, if you apply that to these areas, you're gonna do well. If you've ever if you've ever cut grass, if you ran a landscaping company, if you've hit the block and hustled and you've had to do the whole re-up and budget, and you can do
That's
this.
budget finance.
You can do it.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
I did was take things I learned in the past and apply
Right.
them to other areas. But I got out, I started this little account, and I just had it set to like every time I got my paycheck, I was working at like a little restaurant. I wouldn't nothing. spectacular or fancy or, braggable about it. You know what I mean? And I put every Friday, I put $5 into an investment account, $5 into a Roth IRA, a retirement account. And then I set my purchases to round up to the nearest dollar. So every time I would go buy something at the store, if it was 4.50, it would round it up to $5. That extra 50 cent would go into the investment account.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kind of set it and forget it. I was $5, I wasn't really thinking was, by the end of that year, that $5 account had like close to like 4 grand or something in it. And
Mm-hmm.
and that was money that I just had forgot about. You know what I'm saying? Not forgot about, I just didn't realize it would have been there. I would have blew that if I would have been
Yeah.
checking it regularly. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff I don't wanted to buy.
Yeah.
But it just it opened my whole mind up because I was like, man, how much time would I have to come in here and work for that same 5 grand? I made that like, yeah,
Right.
this was over the course of a year, but this was with no time and energy put into it other than
Right. Right.
the initial little setup of the account. And so that
Right.
got me paying attention and learning about how it worked. Um, and then I noticed that that automated account had like a 30% increase. So I had a 30% gain in profit on my money there. So I started really just hammering down on the education on how the market moves, trends, technical analysis, which led into the more lucrative things like private banking and tax liens and all that. But my whole goal was to match that 30% on the automated account, right? I figured if I can do as good as this Acorns account, then I probably got it. 6 months into that year, I was at 63%. So I doubled the automated account and just realized I kind of had a knack for it. And that's all it took. Once I realized like I can do this, it was just a matter of what do I want to do. And then I branched off into Forex and tax needs. And then I think the other thing was that I once I got to the point to where I didn't mind spending money on furthering education or services or mentors. One of the best things you can do, man, is find you a mentor, man. Find somebody that's done it before, right? Like you can buy a bunch of courses and you can do it the hard way, which is, what I did mostly. But really, with the crypto, just having a little mentor like Walt to just give me the fast track, it was
Yeah.
so much easier, because you got someone personally you can sit there. And that's really why I don't really do products. I just do mentorships, man. That's really, I just want to educate you. I don't want to handle your funds because I just don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that responsibility, but that's what everybody wants, though. They want to come to me, hey, let me just give you some money and you just do your thing. And then, let me know when I get my big fat paycheck. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
really do that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
Like,
the
if
thing
if
about
I'm gonna
that is,
manage it for you, you gonna be have to come off
yeah,
your check,
you
man.
pay. You
It's
gonna
gonna be a
pay. But
huge percentage.
what people don't understand is, bro, if you pay someone to manage those funds for you, you don't gain anything from it. You might get a return on your money, but you're not learning how to fish. You're
You're
being
not.
fed fish. If you give someone permission to feed you, you give them permission to starve you because they can cut your
Exactly.
water off. They can
Yeah.
cut your
And
water off. And
and
the name of the game is,
market downturn, there goes all your money.
yeah, but you don't know why that your
Right.
money went right,
And
and you
you
didn't
thinking
know
they
that that was
scammed
time to
you.
double down. That's
Yeah.
actually a time to double down on those investments,
It
and you
is.
just see your money dissipating and disappearing,
It's so
and
insane
you're
because
sitting.
it's like that it happens repeatedly every time. The market will downturn, everything will be in the red, and everybody gets scared and sells off and locks in those losses. And it's just like if I could teach people anything, it's like basically you don't get screwed if you don't participate.
Mhm.
Right? I explain it like this. All that's happening is that $1,000 necklace at the jewelry store is being swapped out for a $200 price tag. It's the same $1,000 necklace, man. It's the exact same Bitcoin. It's the exact same gold. It's the exact same silver. It's just on clearance for a minute, right? Maybe this week it's worth $1. Next week it's worth 10. So the smart thing to do is when that $10 asset is now worth buy the hell out of it, man. And wait, buy the hell out of it and just chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sit back, watch a movie with the kids or something. You know what I'm saying? Just wait.
Man,
But do not participate because when you do, that's the way it works. You sell You lock in whatever it is, whether it be a loss or a gain, you locking it in. You either creating a taxable, offense for the IRS to come at you with, or you losing some money, which can also offset taxes, but that's a whole other thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, I might, if I got too much taxable income, I got to get me a business vehicle, or, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of business expense got to go on. I don't like giving them my money.
Well, that's the name of the game, man. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. And people don't
That's it. And
understand,
that's the
bro.
hardest part. The making money is easy. It's really super easy to make money. You can make money doing just about anything. There's a woman on
Hmm.
the internet that literally sells farts in a jar.
That's crazy. And
And
people
she
buy it
makes
too, probably.
50, I think it's like 50 grand a month doing it.
That's
50
crazy.
G's a month. And she's not like some supermodel. She's just like a average of a heavier set girl that just farts in a jar and sells them to people all over the planet, man.
I can
So
only
come on.
imagine
So
people
all that
opening up
you
those
can't make
jars and
money, or
sniffing
you
them, bro.
don't
Like that
got,
was a waste of money.
yeah, miss me with all that you can't make money in 2025, man.
You can make money doing anything, bro. Like dead
Anything.
serious. And
The
here's the
best
thing, man.
thing really, it really is to solve a problem, man. If you can
Right.
solve a problem, then you guaranteed to make money.
Well,
Um,
you get paid in proportion to the problems that you solve, man. And
yeah,
people don't understand it's a direct correlation between price and value. You know, price is what you pay, value is what you get. People don't understand the value aspect of it. So when they're paying for things, they're just seeing the price. And then of course, if it's let's say a liability, let's say if it's a pair of shoes that go on sale, they go buy it. Black Friday goes crazy,
I
right?
know it's
Because
crazy.
of the sale. But when
And
the
they buy a
stock
bunch of
market
stuff that
goes
they
on
don't even
sale,
want.
bro, when the stock market goes on sale, when the crypto market goes on sale,
Do
real
the
estate
same thing.
market goes on sale, bond market goes on sale, no one buys. They get scared and
No,
took.
they get scared themselves.
That's the time to buy. What are you
It's
doing?
the craziest thing ever. It's like, man, I know one thing. If I had 100 G's in the bank, and then I woke up the next day and I had 10 G's in the bank, and I know that I didn't get rid of none of this, like the last thing I'm gonna do is sell that 10,000, because I'm gonna sit around and wait, and I'm gonna be like, is my 90 grand gonna come back or what?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not touching this until I find out what the hell is going on here. You
Right,
know? Like,
right.
but you just don't sell, man. If you just hold out and chill and wait, and like that's buy the deal. For anybody that don't know what that means, man, is when that shit dips down, buy whatever it is. If
Mhm,
you see an asset that's not like a Bitcoin, right? If Bitcoin is normally worth $100,000, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it drops down to 60 grand, man, you better buy that shit, dude, because
mm,
there's a reason why that happened. And I'm gonna tell you the game. This is what it is. Like, you got your retail investors. They say what 95% lose money, right? So 95% of all people that start investing in the stock market lose their ass, because the first thing they do is go invest. They do no due diligence. They do no quarterly reports. They don't check the financial records of the companies they're investing in. The best thing you can do is invest in shit you already use. If you got an Apple iPhone, for instance, well, then maybe invest in Apple. You know something about this company. You're familiar with the products. You use them yourself. You are a supporter, right? Don't go investing in some technology firm that's into like quantum computers, and
mhm.
you don't even know
You
what the
don't know the
hell
first
a
thing about
quantum computer
computing.
is. You don't even know what that is. Like, what? Why are you? Don't do that. First thing, know what you're doing before you do it, right? Or find somebody that does, but get familiar and learn at least the basics. And I ain't talking about technical analysis, because yeah, it is beneficial. And if you know what you're doing, you can set a lot of those technical analysis like indicators to really just, you know, alert you to when you know what I'm saying? Because they're able to do it nonstop when you're not paying attention. But more so the market trends, right? Because the way it works, if I own 90% of Apple stock, all it takes for Apple to plummet is for me to sell off or pull out a bunch of my money.
Mhm,
And now everybody that's invested in Apple, their stock just plummeted, right?
mhm.
And if I'm Warren Buffett, for instance, and I know that, I can make those little technical analysis indicators kind of direct you exactly where I want you to go. So these retail investors, they bust their ass all year long. They run it up. They trading like hell. If you know anything about that, that is one of the most stressful things ever, man.
Yeah, I
to
did
sit
it before.
there
It's not for
and
me, bro.
watch those numbers up and down.
Yeah.
And the worst thing I ever did, man, is I didn't lose money on this trade. I actually made money, but I sold it early and it went up like another $11
Oof.
after I sold. So I still won. I made a good percentage, a good return. I could not complain at all. But I was so upset that I didn't get all that other money that I could if I'd have just waited and let it ride and then sold, that it affected my trading the very next day to the point that I lost everything that day and everything I made on the trade the day before that just because of that one trade where I missed out. So I set the other one. I went against my original, limit order and put it up, and it got right at the verge, and then the bottom dropped out of it, and like it was just a total. But it was all because of emotion. It was all because so that FOMO and the emotion is unreal with day trading because you're sitting there constantly. You're just waiting for this to go up a little bit, this and that. If I do any type of day trading or any type of stuff like that now, it's gonna be the crypto loans, man. It's man, I have got to get you on it. It is so amazing because you get to make money on the uptrend and the downtrend, no matter what. And if you set the loans up right, it hedges itself, and you don't have to do nothing, bro. You don't have to like I've got my crypto loan account set, and some of you can like 4 and 5x leverage and everything. It's amazing. But
Mhm.
I don't ever have to check them. And anytime I do, I don't have to really pay too much. All I have to do is look and see which assets are up and which are down. And then you know that a USDC is stable coin. It's not fluctuating. It's $1 today. It's $1 tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
right.
you can use that in relation to those other assets and the fluctuations to pay on the downtrend, pay on the uptrend. Let's say you're invested in algo or Bitcoin or Ethereum and it's, soaring through the roof. You can borrow in that asset, right? And convert it into USDC. It, if it's up 10%, you convert it to USDC. You locked in that extra 10% because the USDC is going, if it's 1,000, it's 1,000 no matter what. It don't go up or down.
Mhm.
So on the uptrend, you borrow in the asset, convert to USDC to store the value, and then you just wait for them to drop back down, repay the loan. That's free money,
Bro, what's
right?
your favorite asset class? What's your favorite asset to invest in? Right now. Not yeah, right now. What's your favorite asset class?
Oh man, gold and silver, bro.
You can't beat
Gold and
that.
silver is or real estate. That gold and silver or real estate is always going to be.
The physical, bro. The tangible.
Yeah, I mean tangible physical things because that's the thing. Even though I'm a big supporter of DeFi and cryptocurrency and everything, that shit only exists on the blockchain, man.
Mhm.
It's only it only exists on that blockchain. And if they shut the internet down or if there's a EMF or EMP or I mean there's a million things when you're relying on other systems. That's the one reason why I'm getting servers, power banks, upgrading the hardware and everything because I'm not going to stop at I've learned how to invest in crypto. I'm not going to stop at I've learned how to create a token. No, we're literally training AIs right now as we speak. I was just in here working on the C app, right?
Mhm.
So I've just I ain't gonna give too much away, but we ain't fucking with no social media no more, man. We going straight for the social education app. So it's we gonna reverse the whole algorithm. Instead of the algorithm searching for useless bullshit for you to distract yourself with, funny animal videos or whatever. Is this particular app is just for educational content. This is
Yeah.
just for some people that's trying to learn some shit and better their life, right? And then we're gonna offer like a stewardship ranking, right? To where if you are truthful in your post, if then you can actually become like a content moderator or something like a fact checker or something. You know what I'm saying? But it's strictly for just education, motivational, beneficial, things like that's the whole purpose.
No.
And then we're going to use that to kind of put that data and everything from our AIs back into like the other AIs through the web and you know what I'm saying? So hopefully, eventually we can counteract some of that bullshit they got going on.
No, I got you, brother. I got you, man. I do, man, because you hit on a couple of key points. And I definitely wanted to touch on it, man, especially the educational part of it, man. What kind of role has that education? I know we talked about this a little bit off camera, but what kind of role has that
Man,
education played for you?
it changed my whole life, and I'm not talking about public school education. You know what I'm saying? It is amazing what I've taught myself online at home. You know
Mhm,
what I mean? No, like a lot of the stuff that I'm using to make money now, I was able to acquire or learn with little or no money.
mhm.
It's a whole new world. I hate it when people takes money to make money. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. That is the dumbest shit ever. That's just some stuff that stupid people that want to be lazy said to explain why they ain't did shit. You know,
Yeah.
well, I ain't got no money, so I can't make no money. Shut
Right,
up.
right, right.
That's stupid. So like you have several ways to make money. Solve a problem, make money. It's equity, right? That's what it all boils down to. Equity, and it comes in many forms, right? Of course, you have a monetary or commercial type of equity, right? If let's say me and you go in on this invention, right? I don't have any money. You put up all the funds, you buy the material, the whole everything commercially and monetarily is on you. I didn't spend a penny, but I designed it. I had the knowledge, I had the ability. So who has rights to this product? Who has more rights to this product? Well, yeah, you paid for everything. That's true. So obviously, we can't say that you have no right to it. But I put all the time, effort, energy, intellectual property, and all of those valuable things, which, if you really know what's going on, that's way more valuable than money.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, look at all the rich people. What are they doing? Giving away all that money for what? All that time, energy, and intellectual property from you guys. That's the name of the game. So I'll gladly give away my cash that depreciates daily for some fire ass intellectual property from some young dude out the hood that doesn't realize his true potential yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Really, that's
Yeah,
that's the name
honestly.
of the game. Let's prey on the weaker ones. Let's prey on the ones that don't know what they got, right? Trick them all into thinking that this money is so it's like a whole conundrum. People chase money and they treat it as if it's something needed to survive. Then once they acquire the money, they trade it off for a bunch of shit that they don't need to survive. Right? And you're just like, what what was the point there?
Right, right,
Like,
right.
because if you really just told me a week ago, hey man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go work my ass off for the next 45 hours this week to go buy a pair of J's, man. I'd be like, what?
You spent your time
What?
for that shit. You spent
Yeah,
your
and that's what I do now is instead of looking at something as the price, right? Instead of looking at it as a $20,000 car, y'all need to start looking at it as like, okay, I make $20 an hour, right? That's a $20,000 car. How many hours do I got to work to purchase or acquire whatever it is that I'm thinking about buying? I guarantee if you start thinking like that, a lot of that shit that you won't want anymore
mhm.
because you're gonna be like, hell yeah. Okay, is it worth an hour? Yeah, it's worth an hour. Is it worth 10 hours? Yeah. Is it worth 100? Like, eventually you're gonna be like, you know what? Hell no, it ain't worth it. No, I got enough shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, oh,
yeah,
come on,
yeah.
man.
People don't
And so
understand.
that'll help a lot. And one trick this old dude told me, for one, he said, always keep your finances organized. Right. And so, like, it's just a habit that I always do. All of if I am carrying cash, it's all bank faced, it's all in order. If my accounts, the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I check all the accounts because out of sight, out of mind for real. If you don't even wake up and check your account, then of course you're probably not doing too well in investments, in budgeting, and finance. Like, you probably need some help because you're not even paying attention to it. Right? $5 adds up. $5 10 times is $50, right? So if you're not paying attention to those little dollar subscriptions here, $5, I used to go and spend $75 at the gas station and not even know how I did it. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? So you got to start paying attention first. Be
bro.
aware, look at it. And then the other thing is he taught me to all of my expenses, I round up. So if I owe $1,000 and whatever it is this month, I'm gonna round that shit up to I owe 1,100, and whatever income or revenue that I got coming in, I'm gonna round that shit down. And if you do that, you're always gonna end up with like some surplus, right? You're gonna
Mhm.
have a little cushion in the middle there that you aren't expecting. Is that one little simple thing helps so much.
Bro, that's simply spending less than you earn and then reinvesting that surplus, reinvesting the capital after the fact. 'Cause that's what the name of the game is, bro. People don't understand those little increments, they add up in both ways. Whether you're adding small sums to your investment portfolio or small
Mhm.
sums to your savings on a regular basis, guess what'll happen, bro? You'll have a surplus of little minions that look like dollar bills that'll work for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and won't take any time off. And then at the same token, the inverse is if you're spending $5, $10 here and there, then guess what? Before you know it, you spent more than you made, or if you spent adjacent to what you made, and now you're at a deficit, or you know what I'm saying, you're just flat.
Or
And
you're
guess
breaking even,
and if you're
you
doing
know?
either of those, then you're not getting ahead. It's
Yeah.
no way possible. It just
Yeah,
works
it's
in
impossible.
yeah.
And it's all about compounding and leverage, right? There's
Mhm,
a thing that's called Parkinson's law, right? And Parkinson's law basically states that the workload will expand or like retract to suit the time frame,
mhm,
right? And so basically what that means is, okay, let's say when we were in school, we would have a test, right? We'd have a test 6, 7, 8 weeks off, right? But we ain't studying that whole 8 weeks, man. We
mhm.
gonna wait until like the last couple days, the last week or whatever. You gonna cram all that shit into that little week study session and go take
Yeah.
that test, right? So that's Parkinson's law. You took what was 8 weeks worth of work and you crammed it into a week's worth of studying to take that test. And it
Mhm.
works the exact opposite, right? If you tell yourself that you've got 2 years to finish this project, then that project is probably going to take you that whole 2 years to finish.
Yeah.
What you
Right.
could do is try to take this 2 year project and cram that shit into a year. And now you just gained a year. You just
Mhm.
advanced a whole year
Yep. Yep.
by using Parkinson's law in the right way. And that's all that the wealthy people and successful people are doing. They're
Bro,
leveraging, they're compounding, and they're shortening that time frame that they allow themselves to have for that workload.
bro,
It's all
everything
about
everything you just said, bro, is all mindset and temperament. That's
yep,
literally all it is. And people have the wrong mindset and they have the wrong temperament. The mindset for most people is, I want to get rich tomorrow.
yep,
And of course, they don't have the skill set to get rich tomorrow, because if they did, they'd already been rich, right? And then they don't
exactly.
have the temperament to be able to stay on the ride, right? To ride the ride as long as it takes in order to get what they want and get what they need. Bro, a lot of people, they operate in lack, and it shows. It shows in their bank account. It shows in the way that they live on a day-to-day
Shows
basis.
in their relationships and the way they treat people. You can basically tell by someone's character whether or not they're disciplined, lazy, trustworthy, good with money, good with finances. You can tell by people's appearance. Now I try not to, solely judge on that, but usually if they're not taking care of themselves hygienically, if they're not eating healthy, if they're not taking care of their body and trying to do some form of working out or exercise, I guarantee they have a lot more problems than just that. Like,
Yes,
I
sir.
don't have a problem with overweight people, so please don't hate me if you're overweight, but it would be ridiculous for us not to acknowledge that those are people that are not willing to hold themselves to the highest standard of discipline.
Right, right.
They will take the shortcuts. They will be lazy. They will say, I'll do it tomorrow. And procrastination is like one of the biggest killers of everything. It's like when I put it on the board, I'm trying to knock that off. When
Mm,
I write some stuff like these are my goals or this, I'm trying to check every single one of them off right now, today. I want to
mhm.
check them off and get them done because I don't I don't want to take too much time to do something, right? Because now everything else that I'm doing is going to take more time. And I'm trying to leverage my time. I'm trying to leverage my skills. I'm trying to leverage my money. I'm trying to leverage my network of people because a lot of time, really get out there, bro. Talk to your neighbors. Stop with the fake social media lifestyle and get out there and meet some people. Go to some events, go to some investors conferences, go to some speakers events, get in some group forums, stop using Facebook like Facebook. Use it like a search engine. That's what I do.
Right,
If I'm on
right,
Facebook, I'm
right.
either marketing or doing something for the business, or I'm checking, because think about it, you get to search real life, everyday instances, right? So if you're looking into Forex, for instance, right? Well, you get to see firsthand like commentary posts from actual people just like you that are doing it, right? So
Mhm,
that you're not really relying on media. You can go directly to, this is a guy that, yeah, I ran up $2 million last year doing Forex. Pay
mhm.
attention to his page, right? So use it like a search engine, not like a way to distract yourself.
Bro, a lot of people.
All of you dudes that can tell me the whole 1957 roster and how many home runs was hit by each player, man,
Yeah, yeah.
look, I really respect y'all's ability and the memory and everything. You obviously cognitively are fucking superior.
Yeah,
Direct that
yeah.
energy towards something that'll do a little
That'll
better than
yield you a
make your
result.
buddies be like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless they gonna hire you as like a statistics analyst or something, start. Well, that's the way it works too. It's just like a computer, man. If you fill your damn email up with spam, eventually you ain't gonna be able to get no important emails, right? Your storage is going to be filled up with all this bullshit that you don't care about and that don't do nothing for you. And you're going to have no more room or energy for anything useful. And I think that's kind of the name of the game. You know what I mean? Let's
Bro.
keep them distracted, keep them filling their head full of all this negative shit, all this stupid shit, keep them in a survivalist state of mind. Don't ever let them know that they actually have options and a choice, you know. And if they've ever gotten any trouble whatsoever, they have got to 100% believe their life is over as they know it. They
Mhm.
can't believe that you could come back from a mistake and actually be successful. And God forbid if you were ever a felon, yeah, no, you're run. You never do anything for the rest of your life. That's stupid.
Bro, it's
I
the
have literally
program.
lost it all and started over so many times and done it in so many different ways. It's ridiculous, man. It don't matter who you are, where you came from, what your mama did, or what kind of criminal background you got. Like, yeah, maybe some theft charges that keep you from getting your foot in the door at like some retail places, and maybe a bank's not gonna want to hire you if you've robbed a bank. But other than that, man, you got YouTube, you got the internet. If you got a little bit of determination, man, you could make a lot of money doing a lot of stuff.
Bro, that programming is keeping people broke because the nature of it is essentially, okay, hey, stay right here. Don't go looking for this information because if you're entertained, if you're deaf scrolling, if you're worried about what entertainers or rappers or celebrities are doing, then guess what you're not doing? You're not educating yourself, right? And if you're not educating yourself and you're continuing to feed that negative connotation in your mind, you'll always be down. Internet is projecting on people that you can get rich tomorrow and that you should get rich quick. So now you're looking for a result without first having went through the process, without earning it essentially, right? And
The
because you don't
instant
need help.
gratification.
Yes, sir. You don't need help to be broke. You don't need to, that's a natural, that's going to be a natural mindset that the world programs you for. You don't need to learn how to be broke. You need to learn how to get rich and change your
That's it.
situation. You don't need help to be
I know it's
negative. That's
crazy. They'll
default.
study all this shit that you already know about, and the whole time people don't realize it. You market every day.
Hmm.
You are a sales rep for these companies every day. Soon as you buy a new Apple phone, you go and show all you people, right? You get that new, you got a brand new, outfit on. With first thing you go, oh, check out this new fit I got, bro. Look at these new shoes. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, the new Android phone is so amazing. You know what I'm saying? You market every day. You driving around in your brand new car or whatever. You marketing for Kia. You know what I'm saying? You do this stuff every day. It's not really like it's some foreign like world that we're living in. We were just at the same place y'all was at, bro. Like we walk by you like on the street, we drive by you on the freeway, we go to the same gas stations and like, you know what I'm saying? It's not that hard. It's just changing what you're paying attention to is probably the most.
Habits
That's
habits
it.
keep people broke, bro. Habits keep people broke, bro. If you sit here And if all you're doing, and this comes, and this is just me personally, because you said it yourself, the type of person you are, whether it's your dress, whether it's your appearance, what you put your mindset, how you value yourself, right? If you can control what you put into your mouth and in your mind, you can control, your world as a whole, and you can really reap those benefits, right? A lot of people are putting the wrong things into their mouth and into their body, which in
Hmm.
turn poisons their mind. Because of course, gut health is connected to mental.
Everything starts with the
And then,
gut
of course,
biome,
what you
man.
put into your mind, the consumption, what are you consuming? Are you watching, Love and Hip Hop? Or are you watching
Yeah, man.
baddies? Or are you watching people do, shoot 'em up, bang, bang stuff? Or are you consuming things that are gonna be or are you consuming things that are gonna be more so beneficial to your mental, right? Can you learn from what you're consuming? Is this gonna be beneficial to your future, right? Are you learning from this and that you can pass it along to whether it's your child, your offspring, you can pass it along to someone else and improve their life, or you can become more valuable in the marketplace and increase your standard of living because
Yes.
our goal is to become more valuable in the marketplace, become more valuable to our network, become more valuable to the world around us, and we'll get paid in proportion to that value that we add.
And in proportion to the amount of value that you're willing to give back to, you know what I mean? The universe rewards those that are walking on with true purpose and good intention, man. That's for sure.
Bro, and that people don't understand, that's cause and effect, bro. That's sowing and reaping. That's literally inputs and outputs. If you put good
Baby,
in, of course, starts with yourself. It's as within, so without, as above, so below. If you put good in,
exactly. I
if you
took it
start
back
from
to
a
the
place of
Gnostics.
love. Bro, if you start from a place of love, from a place of abundance, from a place of gratitude, and you literally pour that into everyone you come into contact with, it has no choice but to come back to you. It's called
Right.
attraction. It's the cause of law and effect. Bro,
And
because you
regardless of
did
how
that,
they
you
accept
did
it, right? Because I think a lot of people do that.
right.
They'll have good intention and they'll be doing everything right. And they'll let the fact that they gave those good energies and vibes and efforts to someone that didn't give them in return and screwed them over as a reason to stop being that way or doing those things. And it's like
Right.
that's not the way
Right.
it's your job is not to force everyone to accept your energy the way you want them to. Your job is to
Right.
accept that energy that they're giving you the way you want to. Right. So if you're
Mhm.
sitting up at 3 o'clock in the morning hating on me because I'm doing some fly shit and you ain't, you really think that's going to affect me negatively? You think that I'm gonna sit here in my recording studio that I built myself just because I wanted one and be upset and negative and down and out and depressed because you hating on me for doing what I wanted to. No, I'm gonna take that negative ass energy that you shooting at me and I'm gonna transform that shit into some more positive ass cool shit for you to hate some more.
Bro,
Right?
this is what's keeping people broke, bro. That's the crazy thing about it. They don't it's the mindset, bro. It's that
It is the
negative.
mindset. It is so simply the mindset. And there's no argument for it. That is the problem.
It's a
That is the
poison,
problem.
bro.
Nobody believes in themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they're capable of. And if they do know, then everyone around them has got to attack them. You're different. There's something wrong with you. That's stupid. That's crazy.
That's
You could
funny.
never be
That's
that.
funny.
You could
You're
never do
weird.
that.
You're
No, we from the
weird.
same place. You can't be. Man, stop with all that shit. Dude, tell you what
Yeah.
you can and can't be, but don't tell me what I can be. I'll handle what I can do. Right?
And then that's another, I'm glad you said that, because people have that negative self-talk. They're constantly telling themselves what they can and can't do, but you can do anything, right? You
Yes.
can do anything that you put your mind to. If you can see it, that's all the proof that you need to know that you can achieve it and you can get it, right? But no one operates with that mindset, and that's why widely most people are broke. That's why widely most people they don't live the way they want to live, and why they don't typically reach their goals in life, whether they have them or not, because a lot of people don't have goals. They don't have targets that they've set for themselves,
Right.
whether it is economic goals, whether it's humanitarian goals, whether it's health goals, fitness goals, things like that. They don't have those checks and balances in place in order to keep that upward trajectory going, bro. And it starts small. Just a simple seed that's planted, whether it's a $5 investment like you were making in acorns every single week, or whether it's you going to the gym, getting your body right, whether it's you picking up a book and reading and getting your mind right. And this is a great book right here to read right here. Richest Man in Babylon, man. I actually
Yes, it
give it
is.
away.
That is a good one.
Richest Man in Babylon. It teaches you practical steps on how to build wealth And essentially, they talk about real estate, they talk about land, they talk about spending less than you earn, reinvesting the capital, compounding, and of course, trusting people, like you said, mentors, taking advice from
Yeah.
people that have done what it is that you're looking to do. And of course, that's gonna exponentially
Yeah, it's so
increase your
much
rate of
more. But yeah,
man.
because it's one thing to read it in a textbook and to see that it says this, especially like when I study in the private rights and criminal law and what you actually can do and can't do. When you read the statutes or the laws, and you know what it says in that textbook, but then actually having that applied in real time when you've got like an officer, ready to draw his pistol on you and tase the shit out of you, and is a whole different thing. So you don't really know how that
Right.
goes until you've actually been in there, got your hands dirty, and actually went through it, right? And
You
so,
gotta get
yeah, get
now
in
go
there with
ahead, bro. You
somebody
go
that's got dirty, right? To figure
Mhm.
out how you can
Got
stay
to.
clean. That's how you do it,
And
you know?
you
And
gotta
pay
get dirty
attention.
too, man.
Pay
Yeah.
attention
Yeah.
to better things. Like I like to use that little five, the rule of five, man. If I'm about to do something, is it gonna matter in 5 minutes?
Mhm.
Yes. If the answer is no, don't do it. If it's not gonna matter in 5 minutes, then don't fucking do it. That's
Yeah.
retarded. That is a complete. If it's not gonna matter in 5 days, probably still shouldn't do it. Right? Like if
Mhm.
it's not gonna matter in 5 months, 5 years, like don't do it. That's a very simple rule that'll keep you from doing a lot of stupid shit. And then my thing is, I tell my children all the time, I'm like, "What'd you do that for?" And if they give me that stupid ass answer, like, "I don't know," oh, I'm gonna roast the shit out of your ass. So you just in the habit of walking around doing shit with no point or purpose, no reason, no benefit, no outcome expected. You just doing shit. That's
Mhm.
about the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Just doing stuff.
I'm glad you said that because that's a kid that we're using an example of, right? Before adults, it's because they don't think. If you ask them why they're doing something, they say, "I don't know." It's because they don't think. A lot of the average
Mhm.
person, they don't they mistake mental activity for thought. They think
Yes, they
because your
do.
brain moving, you're not brain dead. So of course, it's electrons, and this is a electronic switching station. Your mind is like a computer, right? So it's
Yeah,
constantly
it is.
firing
It's
off.
just some
They think that
electric signals mixed with some chemicals, man. There you
And
go.
they
That's
think
the
that
brain.
since it's they think since it's movement up there, that's actual thought. But if you take time to actually think, right? Because you're inside of a box and you can think yourself outside of that box. That programming that we're designed and we're programmed, right? So everyone's
Yeah, oh,
programmed. It's
yes.
just
Everybody is.
programming are you listening to, right? But if you can think your way out of that box, if that's where thought comes from, you have to think your way outside of it, right? Thinking out the box, then you will be able to reap a result that the majority don't get. A lot of people think they're special, they think they're different, but you're really just like everyone else. And that's why your results
And they're
widely
pushing that too.
resemble.
If you notice, especially they're pushing this whole equality thing, which I'm not saying that anybody is just inherently born with better DNA or any race or any sex is better than the other. Not at all. But I do believe that some people are better than others due to their
Bro,
level of commitment, their level of effort, the time that they take, how generous and caring and compassionate they are for others, what they're willing to give back, not just what they're willing to take. Those people that wake up every Kobe Bryant, yes, he was fucking better. You know why he was better? Because he practiced 3 times a day.
yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah, yeah,
retarded if
yeah.
you try to say that anybody that's just showing up half-assing a practice every day is as good as Kobe Bryant. He was better
Facts.
because of the
Bro,
effort and the work and the time and how hard he went. So yeah, some
bro,
definitely I'm better than a lot of people, but there's others that are way better than me. And
exactly. And I'm
so
glad you
I
said that,
think that
bro.
whole equality thing is good and bad, but I also think that it's absolutely insane for you to say that uh, men and women are completely the same and equal, or someone who has started their own business and been successful is exactly the same and equal to somebody
As
who
an
does not
employee.
know the first thing about fucking, that he sweeps and mops the
Bro,
floor. That's so stupid. You
bro,
run around talking about we're equal. No, we're not. No, we're not.
bro,
I can't have a baby, nor would I
as
want
human
to.
beings, as a spirit, as a human being, we all as rights, right? Or constitutionally amendments and things like we're equal in on the realm of the spiritual person that we are, being a human being. As far as that goes, that's where it stops at because
Yeah,
no
the
one is
equality
created.
ends at opportunity.
That's it,
We
bro. Because
all
here's
have
the
equal opportunity and equal rights to things.
it's all
That's it.
about the output and how competent you are. And that's why I'm not a stickler or proponent for equal pay because we don't
Yeah,
deserve the same if we don't provide the same value, if we don't have the same if we're not the same level of competent, if we're not both essentially able to provide the same resources, then guess what? Someone is lesser and someone is greater. And in that being the case, then nothing is equal, right? There's no equal
right.
outputs. Shouldn't
And
be.
most of the time, it's in a particular area, right? Now
Mhm.
you can say this person is better at this than that person, but you could still find something that that other person is better at than the other.
Yeah.
And I think honestly, I think after World War II, with the women entering the workforce because all the men were away fighting, that whole dynamic screwed shit up. The attack on the minority families, especially, but just in breaking up the father from the home in general, has a direct effect on society in a whole. Like daughters that grew up without a father are 49% more likely to be on drugs, go to prison, or do sex work in white families. 39% more likely in black families. So that's a huge percentage just from the father not being there.
Mhm.
Now, here's something that the ladies ain't gonna like, right? Equal to, if not better, statistics for a single father family than the worst statistically environment for the children to grow up in is a single mother home.
Mhm.
And that's not my opinion. That's just statistics. That's just the facts. That's just
People don't
how it
like
plays out.
statistics, bro. People don't like statistics. It hurts
No,
their
they don't
feelings.
like it because
They don't like
it's
the truth. The
facts,
truth
and
hurts.
then they can't
But
believe what they want.
the truth hurts, but it'll also set you free. And the truth is that a lot of people aren't educated enough to make sound decisions and govern a household, govern their finances, and let alone govern a young mind that you're looking to develop. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I want to end with this, bro, because we've been rocking for a minute. And the thing is, people got to understand your mindset, slow, consistent actions that compound over time, diversifying your knowledge base, right? As well as diversifying your investments will
Yes.
play a huge role in what you are able to achieve. And of course, who you are and who you develop into as a person. You don't see too many people that are successful that haven't developed themselves from within, right? As a person.
True.
And I
That's
want
true.
you to let everyone know where they can find you at. And of course, give us your parting words of wisdom and any last messages that you have for everybody, bro.
Okay. You can definitely find me on all the social medias at either Wealth Wave or Wave Maker. We got a school on the school platform where you can get in there and learn some stuff if you like to kind of take it at your own pace. We do offer like the mentorships and everything, but don't be on if you ain't serious. Don't hit me up about no mentorship. You know what I'm saying? We ain't fucking around. We're trying
Yeah.
to really get to some money and get this stuff done, right? I kind of treat that the same as I do when I'm at the gym. When we at the gym, we there to work, man. Let's get this work done. We'll talk later.
That's right. That's right.
But I will say this, right? It all starts and ends with mindset, right? In my opinion, you've got two different ways of getting to wealth. You either make enough money and acquire enough of these things that you feel like you need to feel wealthy and successful, or you go the opposite way of the minimalistic approach, which is you need less things to feel successful and happy and wealthy. And either one of those will work just the same. But you got to really get down with yourself. Look who you are, who you think you are in the mirror when nobody's looking and nobody's around. and you're looking in the mirror and you're being honest with yourself about who you really feel like you are, whoever that person is, that's who you're going to be. You can have all the classes and courses and mentorships and affirmations, and you can study from every guru that you fucking run into, and you're still going to revert back to that base.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a psychological fact of human nature. Whoever you think you are is exactly who you're going to be. You could fake it for a little bit, but if you honestly, truly feel like you can't do any better than you are, then that's exactly, you're right. Whether you think you are or think you're not, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
Bro, that's beautiful, brother. Man, I appreciate you for joining me, man. And I
Man, I
promise you,
appreciate you having me on, man. I'm looking forward to you coming on on our podcast and you know what I'm saying, showing some love, man.
hey, let's do it. Let's get it. We're gonna get on there. We're gonna pop it. We're gonna pop our thing, and we're gonna do it big, brother. Until
I
next
love
time.
it, man. Hey, it's good to see you coming up and shining and being successful and giving another role model for these people to look at, man. We
Yes,
need
sir.
more people like that, man.
Hey, appreciate you, brother. And until
Yeah.
next time, invest in family. Peace.
Yeah, man.